US President Donald Trump claims Iran is ready to hand over enriched uranium. He called it nuclear dust. In fact, Trump's go-to word has been nuclear dust for Iran's highly enriched uranium that the International Atomic Energy Agency believes is buried deep underneath the ground. According to reports, this uranium is said to be buried under a rubble of mountain that was pummeled in US's bombings from June 2025. Trump has claimed that Tehran's nuclear program had been obliterated, and yet, today the United States is scrambling to end Iran's nuclear enrichment program.
The big thing we have to do is we have to make sure that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon, because if they do, you want to talk about problems, you'd have problems. So very important is that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon, and they've agreed to that. Iran's agreed to that, and they've agreed to it very powerfully. They've agreed to give us back the nuclear dust that's way underground because of the attack we made with the B-2 bombers. So we have a lot of agreement with Iran, and I think something's going to happen very positive.
Trump believes Iran is ready to hand over its nuclear dust and that there won't be any uranium enrichment at all. According to the US president, Iran will not build nuclear weapons, and a broader agreement could end the current conflict. He's even hinted at a major diplomatic breakthrough, possibly signed in Pakistan. But Iran says not so fast. Tehran has publicly denied that any such deal is finalized. A source close to Iran's parliament speaker, Mohammad Ghalibaf, said that no form of nuclear material transfer to America has been negotiated, and that directly contradicts Donald Trump's assertion. Another Iranian source rejected the claim outright, calling it yet another lie, and added that no major progress has been made in the ongoing talks. The source further said that any continuation of negotiations would depend on compliance with all of Iran's conditions. So what we are seeing is a familiar pattern in geopolitics. One side signals progress, the other side pushes back, and negotiations continue behind closed doors. But the real fight isn't just about nuclear weapons. It's about how long Iran should stop enriching uranium. Let's simplify this. What is uranium enrichment in the first place, and why it matters? It is the process that can power nuclear energy plants or build a nuclear bomb. The difference? The purity level. Anywhere below 20%, it is meant for civilian use. But for weapons grade, it needs to be above 90%. Right now, Iran has uranium that's enriched up to 60%, which is dangerously close to weapons capability. And that's why the United States is focused not just on weapons, but also on stopping the enrichment process itself. Because if enrichment continues, Iran could rapidly convert stockpiles into weapons-grade material. This is where the differences emerge. United States wants a 20-year ban on enrichment. Iran won't move beyond a 5-year limit. At first glance, it sounds like a technical disagreement, but it's far more than that. It's a trust battle. For Washington, the longer Tehran stops enrichment, the harder it is to restart. A long ban equals more security and less risk. Politically, Donald Trump wants to show a decisive win. But for Iran, the stakes are about sovereignty. Enrichment is seen as a sovereign right, and a 20-year ban feels like strategic surrender. For Tehran, nuclear energy is part of its long-term strategy. Iranian authorities have maintained that their nuclear activities are intended solely for peaceful purposes, particularly electricity generation and energy security. Iran has consistently denied any intention to develop nuclear weapons. So the bottom line is this: 20 years, 5 years, or forever. That number could decide whether the Middle East moves towards peace or back to war. Now, beyond enrichment limits, the question of what to do with Iran's existing stockpile of enriched uranium also remains unresolved. The United States has pushed for the removal of this material from Iranian territory, arguing that its presence poses an ongoing risk. There have been indications that